So I'm going to try and do this one-handed. First thing is, this is the, I think they call it an outboard pad or something of that nature. This has worked really well. It's been a little bit squeezed and battered here, but you know, that's fine. Other than that, it's fine. I think this will need, you know, we'll do a couple of coats of varnish and that'll be ready for next season. The paddle, so put that on the floor. Just a little bit of, tiny little bit of wear at the bottom here. So that'll just need a quick varnish. The handle's beautiful. And just at the top here, there's been where it's just caught the boat. But that's very, very superficial. The boat hook. Now that, just some of the plastic has chipped off the top here. So we'll just need to scrape the loose stuff off. And we will just re-plastic that. Quick job. Now we come to the important bits. The rudder. The rudder's really good. After my final proper full repair, the rudder's in really good shape. And really it only needs very superficial topping up of the varnish on the edges there. So again, that's going to be a really quick job. Let's move that. And then lastly, on the main kit, we've got the daggerboard. There is a little bit of damage on the top here. So this is where the kicker or the vang scrapes on the daggerboard. When you're launching, you want the daggerboard fully up and the kicker just scrapes and catches on it, and you can't really do much to help that. So we'll have to sand that down as smooth as we can. And then these edges here. And then really there's just a few little scratches you can just see there where it pushes up and down the daggerboard box. But other than that, it's in really good condition. Even you can see my depth lines are still on there as well, but no doubt we'll give this a bit of a varnishing, and we'll redo those at some stage. So again, not much work to do at all on those. This is the mini daggerboard that I use just to close off the daggerboard when I'm motoring. It does protrude beneath the hull about 1 centimetre, so you can see there's a little bit of scratching on there, but there's actually, the varnish is still intact on that. So I fully reconditioned this. Yeah, I can see a little bit of chipping there. I fully reconditioned this. So what we'll do, when it gets a bit warmer, we'll put this back in the hull and we'll see where the line is, and we'll try and get this to be a bit flusher. So we'll just chop it and get it to be a little bit flusher with the bottom of the hull. And then we'll give it a quick sand, and that should be ready for next season with very little effort as well. This is both the tiller handles. So this rubber silicone handle has kept gripped quite well to this. I thought it would have probably cracked off, but it's been really great. The tiller handle's brilliant, still nice and tight, nothing needs sorting, good as new. Same goes with my little 2-stroke outboard tiller handle. This isn't ideal, this metal pole, as previous videos have shown. It does flex a little bit, but this handle's actually okay. I just tied it on with tie-its and it's been fine. For the amount you actually touch it, you don't need to rotate this one because the outboard motor sort of accelerator is actually a little sliding switch on the motor itself. The only thing I do need to improve is this, where it connects onto the, let's do it that way, where it connects onto the tiller arm. I need to maybe make this, find a better way of doing this, because bolts in here, they just come off. Maybe I need to utilize some kind of nylon thread for that to make sure it doesn't slip off. But other than that, both of these tiller handles have been amazing. I'm, you know, quite chuffed with them, to be honest with you. Okay, so there's the three main parts of the rigging of the ship. The mast that is in the aluminium is this piece. Here's the gaff, which goes right to the top of the boat up there, and then this is the boom. So we'll start with the boom. You know, to be honest with you, the boom looks brand new. There's a little bit of scratching from the kicker strap there, but I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a little bit, tiny bit here. Sometimes when you capsize near to shore, the boom will go in the water and hit the floor. So maybe that would be a very superficial varnishing needed there. So let's now have a look at the gaff. A little bit here on the top where it's, I think from capsizing and hitting the bottom. So that'll need sanding and varnishing a little bit. I'm trying to look down this groove. This groove, if I can just get that in the right way up, this groove is where the mainsail slips in. That looks perfect, to be honest with you. So actually the main gaff is fine. We'll check all the screws as well, make sure they're okay. Now the main problem with the gaff is from my super turtling day, this got a little bit loose, so I did tighten up these screws, but you can see here there's a little bit of, if I just put my nail, you can just see in here there's a bit of splitting, so that'll need a little bit of glue. And then obviously in here is where it rubs a lot on the mast, so that'll just need renewing. When I got my super I got my super deal on that, on my spare sails. I actually got a spare gaff and boom and wooden mast with that as well, so I do have a spare gaff if all else fails. However, I'm pretty sure it would be pretty easy to fabricate a piece of wood like that just to go on there if we need to, but it's not as bad as I thought it was. And then the mast, obviously this is aluminium. We'll come to the top first. And yeah, there's a bit of wear and tear just where, you know, the halyards, the shroud, sorry, have just obviously rubbed here. So that will just need sanding up, making good. But it doesn't spend a lot of time in the water, to be frank, this doesn't. We'll check all the pulleys look good, as this is for the spinnaker. The aluminium, obviously that'll look after itself, and there's no knocks or nicks or bangs in there. Now the only point of concern on here is at the bottom here, you can see there's a little bit of corrosion on the aluminium mast there, and this wooden plug, yeah, actually the wooden plug's fine. The wooden plug, actually you can buy new ones of these, but it's actually the bottom of the mast, this little, you know, a bit of corrosion in there. So yeah, I think we're okay. It's possibly where the boat's been used in the seawater and it's just dripped to the bottom here. So we could maybe try and seal that up in something. We could see. I'll see what we can do. Other than that, shrouds look good. A tiny bit of greening on the brass, but that's nothing to shout home about. So all in all, the boat's in really good shape. The rigging's in great shape. The sails are in great shape. All the sheets and lines are in great shape. All the peripheral parts, the daggerboard and the rudder and etc. is still looking really, really good. So the only thing we need to now check is the hull and see what work needs doing on that.